so it looks like we're going to be able to go live. Okay, so cool. We are live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So we're going to kind of see how this works out tonight. And if it works out well, then we'll kind of try to do this every night so we can hit both platforms. Because I know for some people, you can get on YouTube easier than you can Facebook. And then my YouTube people don't have to wait till the morning to see a video. They can catch us at night and be part of the live conversation if they would like as well. Okay, so I'm going to kind of restart like I usually do while I have some people joining us here on Facebook still. Definitely make sure to leave a comment as you're jumping on. Let us know where you're from, if you're new to intermittent fasting, or just give us a nice hello with a cute emoji, whatever you want to do to let us know you're here, that's great. And then we'll see what we can get on YouTube live as well. On YouTube, if you are jumping on, please make sure that you post a comment so that I know that you're there and that I can address you. Always feel free to ask questions throughout the video broadcast, and then what I like to do is review them at the end. That way we have a nice solid conversation all the way through, and then at the end I'll kind of address your comments and questions. So if you are joining me on Facebook, make sure you hit that like button so that you will be notified when I go live. And the same thing for YouTube, hitting that subscribe button will let you know that when I go live, and then you can join us in a live conversation, which is going to be great. If you feel like you know someone who might be suffering with some kind of aging issues, some sudden weight gain, maybe irritability, inability to sleep, night sweats, just that normal hormonal thing that's kind of going on with women in their like 35 plus age, definitely feel free to share this video broadcast with them and invite them to jump in with us. If you are new to me, my name is Diane, and for the past 25 years, I have been helping women find nutritional plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And for me, that has been done over the past couple of years with intermittent fasting. I started researching intermittent fasting a couple of years ago when I myself started noticing some very obvious changes in my body. The diets that I had been following for the past couple of years suddenly stopped working. The exercise that I was doing, pounding myself into the ground, was no longer having the same effect that it used to for me. I was gaining a lot of that visceral midsection belly fat, and I'd put on about 15 pounds that I had no idea where it came from or how I found them, and I definitely couldn't get rid of them. And so I was very, very frustrated with my body, and had also been recently diagnosed with pre-diabetic state. And I knew I was having some insulin resistance problem and some thyroid issues, and I was pretty sure that I had an autoimmune disorder kind of knocking on my door. And so I decided to take some matters into my own hands and start researching and experimenting and implementing, and what I found was intermittent fasting. And I have since then developed a program to help aging women sort of incorporate intermittent fasting into their life in a way in which they did not have to exit their lifestyle, but could naturally incorporate it into what they were already doing, but just be able to reap the health benefits and the weight loss and fat loss benefits from it as well. So tonight, we are going to be talking about a subject that I have coined myself, and I call it nutrition deficit disorder. Now, I am slightly attention deficit disorder stricken, and I have that kind of, attention span where, I'm focusing on one thing, and then something catches my eye, and then I'm over there, and then I'm over there, and then I'm over there, and the next thing you know, I'm just a hot mess, and I kind of don't know where my mind is supposed to be, and I've kind of dealt with that my whole life. And I noticed that can kind of trickle over into what we do with our nutrition sometimes when we're feeling a little bit broken and we're feeling a little bit desperate and we don't know who to trust and we just want someone to fix us, and we're sort of fed up with everything that we have going on, and we'll do just about anything to feel better. And I know that there was a time when I was exactly in that state, and I was spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on powders and juices and supplements and quick fixes and elixirs and oils and all of those things. And nothing was really helping me the way it was advertised to help me. And I was kind of just putting my body in this constant turmoil of never knowing what to expect and whether it was going to be high or low or sugared up or sugared down or amped up too much where I could barely handle my day. It was just all these things that I kept incorporating in my body. And if I didn't get an immediate result from something, I ditched it and ran off to the next thing. And if I didn't get an immediate result with that, I ditched that and went off to the next thing. And so I was in this state of sort of how my mind works sometimes, and just kind of like grasping for anything that looked like a quick fix and an easy sell. And man, I was a good marketing target because I bought it all and I tried it all. And it works for, I don't know, a week or two. And then of course, if your body is not in its optimal health and you're suffering from some hormonal imbalances and your body's kind of a mess anyway, then it only lasts for a couple weeks and then it runs its course because your body's sort of like, nice try. I'm not going to let that work because everything else is out of balance. And we're basically out of balance, not because of what it is that we are trying, but because of what we've done over the course of time with our nutrition and these quick fix things and these fad diets and this over exercising. And we've gotten our body in such a state that it is so out of balance hormonally that no matter what we do and no matter how desperate we try, nothing's going to work. And so we end up, unless we figure that out, unless we slow down enough to figure it out, or we have an opportunity to learn about what is really happening with our bodies when we're going through these sort of hormonal crises, is that we got to just go back to the basics, and we got to get rid of all these quick fixes. We got to get rid of all these little stimulants. And we got to get rid of all of these other things that we're putting in hoping will be the magic cure, and realizing that we have to just get to work. That we have to get to work on fixing our bodies. And the best way to get to work on fixing our bodies is just by putting good, solid nutrition back in, and not these fancy drinks and these concoctions and these promises to make things easy. Fixing ourselves is not an easy thing. It's a serious thing that's going to take some time and dedication and some real patience on our part. Because if you're like me and you've spent most of your adult woman life trying to look a certain way, or diet your way down to happiness, or exercise away your problems, which is what I have done pretty much my whole life. I've run away definite stressful situations in my life. Running has been my sort of escape thing. And so I've run some serious miles escaping some stuff. And I guess in a sense that's good. I could have done worse things, but over time, beating your body into the ground and not feeding it properly and putting not so real food into our system eventually breaks us down and puts us out of balance. And then what happens when we start to actually have our hormones change on our own? They're so messed up that they don't even know how to change properly. And so then we start suffering from all the perimenopausal issues. And if you go back in time, like, the reality is we're not supposed to have PMS, and we're not supposed to have perimenopausal symptoms. We have all of those things because of things that we've done to our body and things that we've put in our body that make us imbalanced hormonally. And so we've sort of been imbalanced our whole life, because if you suffer from PMS, that usually means that there's something going on in your body that's not right. And so when those hormones kick in, they can't really do the job that they need to do, and you have this like friction going on in your body, and so we start to suffer all these symptoms. And so PMS and perimenopause are just symptoms. And so one things that I love about what I get to do with my course, the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Women, is I get a 30-minute opportunity to speak with women who are in my course, and it's just eye-opening to me, and it's such a great experience to get to hear all these different stories from women. And, we all are basically suffering the same things, which I think is amazing, because, when you get women from all over the world together and you start discussing what it is that you're going through life, and we're all so similar, yet we all live in different places, that, we have to kind of come to the realization that, it's what we're doing to ourselves. And that if we can just fix it, and we can kind of go back to the basics, then maybe we can start to undo some of this stuff. And maybe we can create an opportunity to really end some of the suffering that we go through, because we can start to share what it is that we're going through and help other women. And so one of the big things that I have been really kind of getting a lot of insight on with women, and where I really call the nutrition deficit disorder, is a lot of these, and let me just say, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nutritionist and I'm not anyone that can prescribe anything. Everything that I'm talking about is kind of my own personal opinion and what I've studied and what I've experienced and what I've kind of learned through talking to hundreds of women. And anytime I ask women, like, oh, well, what are you kind of taking? Like, are you on any supplements? Are you doing anything with your doctor? And one really common thing that always comes up, especially with women like post 45, are these hormone, I forget what they're called. They're like bioidentical hormone something or other. I don't know, I don't take them, but they're kind of along that line. And if you take them or you've heard of them, just put them in the comments and then I can be corrected on what they're called. But they're basically like, they're hormones that I think that are supposed to be designed to hit your biomarkers or something like that. And when I ask women like why they're taking them, and I've probably heard about 200 women now who have said that they're taking them or have been taking them, they're to relieve symptoms of perimenopause or menopause. And trust me, the symptoms are real and they're very awful. So I understand why you would want to take something for relief. But I always say everything that you do to your body that is supposed to be a symptom reliever or make things easier always comes at a price. And the price usually ends up being long-term side effects. And one of the things with women and hormones, especially when you have too many hormones that your body doesn't need, is that risk of cancer, and more specifically breast cancer and ovarian cancer. And so I always try to get the conversation going with are you aware of those risks? Because it's so easy to, when you're really desperate, and trust me, I was desperate, so I know I was doing a bunch of stuff too to try to just get the relief. And when you just want to feel good again, you're willing to do anything. But the one thing that we don't jump to first is nutrition. And a lot of the things that we're suffering from and the symptoms that we're suffering from as our bodies change are because of some of these things that we put into our lifestyle or we have in our life that are really causing our hormones to be out of balance. So when our hormones are trying to adjust because of nature or a season of our life, and then we have all these things that are in our lifestyle that are causing our hormones to have conflict, then we need relief. But what if we took some time to kind of study what it is that's causing our hormones to sort of be out of whack or to be in conflict with what nature's having, and we could remedy some of those symptoms ourselves? And one big symptom that we're trying to get relief from are night sweats. And if you don't experience night sweats, trust me, you don't want to experience them. They're horrible. Like, you will wake up in the middle of the night completely dripping in sweat. And it's uncomfortable, and it's awful to wake up in the middle of the night that way. And so finding relief is almost a desperate thing. But one of the things, that causes night sweats like that is just having too much sugar in your body, or being that person that has a glass of wine at night before you go to bed. Like, all of those things are big triggers for night sweats. And we don't often correlate that with the symptoms of menopause or perimenopause, and just kind of taking a look at our nutrition could put us in a position where we might have to not rely on those bioidentical marker, whatever hormone things, and we don't have to run that risk down the road. And so rushing to hormones too quickly, to me, is scary, because I fear for what women are going to have to suffer down the road, or relying on them for too long. I think maybe even sometimes using them to kind of see if you can get yourself in balance is a great thing. But I always say that we should take a step back, take a breath, and then think about what we're doing every day in our life, and could very subtle little innocent things be causing us more discomfort than we need? And so I'm going to ask this question of my women who are kind of suffering from some hormonal discomforts. And I say this a lot in the consult calls that I have with women. So if you have a daughter or a son who's going through hormonal changes and their hormones are ramping up, they're in puberty, would you ever consider going to a doctor and having some hormones created for them that they could take that would decrease their hormones so that they were easier to live with? Because if you have a teenager or you've ever had a teenager in your house, it's hell on wheels. Like, they are going through some serious changes, and it's not a pleasant thing for anyone who's around them. Just like when we are going through our changes, it's not a pleasant thing for us or anyone that's around us. But we're always quick to go get something to disguise what we're going through. But we would never, ever consider doing that to our teens. And why is that? Like, why are we so quick to fix us or cover up us, but yet we allow grace and time and comfort to our adolescents who are going through the same thing? It's just in a reverse order. They're amping up, we're amping down, because there's just hormones that we don't need at a certain level anymore. And so nature is decreasing them for us. It's not pleasant. It's a change. And sometimes it's hard to deal with, mostly because our society doesn't do a great job at educating us women. So we need to step up and take the responsibility to educate ourselves, and not only educate ourselves, but educate the ones that are in our house that love us, our husbands, our kids, our extended family, our girlfriends, so that we all know that we just kind of need a little time to get through our stuff and to be loved. And so that's true, I think, with everything that we're trying to do in the world of nutrition. Us women going through the hormones, that even women who are in the childbearing years who are suffering from PMS or infertility issues, if you have been tested for infertility issues and they can't find anything that is obviously wrong, I say always go to nutrition and see if there's something that you can do to fix there. I had 2 bouts of infertility that lasted over a year, and I've used nutrition both times to allow myself an opportunity to be pregnant. Each time after the 3rd month, I was pregnant. Now, I consider myself very lucky. I know not everyone is in that situation. Not everyone has that end result. But it is something to kind of consider. If there's nothing anatomically stopping you from having a child, it's always worth it to go that nutrition route before you throw in the towel or before you take extreme measures. And oftentimes our medical community doesn't even offer kind of that advice. And so if you are in that situation, definitely feel free to call me. I would love to share my experience with you and share with you what I did. And then the same thing for our young girls and our boys who are going through puberty. Like, we're so quick to fix, or we're so quick to kind of like let them suffer through it or whatever. But there's some nutritional things that we can do for teenage boys and teenage girls as well that can also help them go through that time when their bodies are kind of fighting against them, and help them get through it a little easier by just making some nutritional and lifestyle changes and having the open conversation. And then for us women who are trying to lose weight or want to get that that knockout, drag down body that we're dreaming of having, sometimes you just got to put the work in and stop searching for that quick fix. And I talked, I think it was yesterday, about pre-workout formulas and all these little things that we do to try to get that more intense workout or work out a little bit harder. And we never really just rely on our own body to do that for us. We never really rely on our body to be that fat burning machine that's going to create that energy for us to work out at the level in which our body is capable of working out. Why are we always trying to push it harder? Why are we always trying to go a little bit faster? Why are we always trying to get that little extra thing out of our bodies when we should just be happy that we can actually just get a good workout in and just be happy with that, and stop putting all those chemicals and all those things in our body to try to just get that much farther. And I think once we kind of just go back to natural and we stop putting all those things in our body, we'll be surprised at how our body will just sort of learn to self-regulate. And then we don't need that next best thing to get us to that next best thing and that next best thing. And we can rely on our bodies to do it. And I know there's a lot of women in my group this month who are coming back already. We're in day 3. We just finished day 3 together. And they're working out in a fasted state with no stimulants, no pre-workout formulas, and they're getting great workouts, and they're surprised at how much their body is just naturally producing sweat. Like when your body is burning its own fat as energy efficiently, you sweat. Because that's what your body does when it burns fat. It just sweats. It's how it self-regulates. But when we put all these quick fixes in us, then your body's not self-regulating. It has something in there that's stopping the natural process of burning fat and exercising at the ability in which it's supposed to exercise naturally. So my call to action to you guys who are maybe not happy with your body and are maybe suffering from some hormonal changes, or maybe it's PMS, or maybe it's some infertility frustrations that you have, go back to nature, go back to nutrition, really study what nutrition can do for you, study what it's going to do for you in the long term if you are kind of bringing in some things that aren't as natural as you'd like them to be. See what the long-term side effects could be, or possible side effects could be for you down the road. And then really ask yourself if it's worth it. You know, is it worth it to have that physique for, I don't know, a week or two? I know when I got down to a really fit weight to get into an infomercial, I'm pretty sure that's probably when I started having all my my blood sugar problems and hormone problems, because I had to do some very drastic and desperate things to get my body to that level of fitness to make it for an infomercial. And then as soon as you have a sandwich, your physique goes away. So it's like you do all that work, and then as soon as you become normal and eat normal again, you get puffy and it goes away. So it's not even really worth it. So first and foremost, we need to be happy. And then we need to be healthy. And then we need to just learn how to be okay with not always being so perfect physique-wise and maybe athleticism-wise, and just go with as natural as we possibly can be and see how healthy we can get our bodies on our own without having to go outside of what we know is good for us nutritionally. So I say nutrition deficit disorder is when we're always grasping for that quick fix elixir or pill or a powder that it's going to take us beyond what we can do on our own easily. And if it's too easy, trust me, there's a price that you're going to pay at the end for whatever it is that you're doing in the short term, because nothing's easy. Everything that we do in life that really matters, or that's going to affect a healthy and long-term change for us, takes work. And it takes dedication, and it takes education. And sometimes it takes being open in conversation with the people around us so that they understand what we need to do for ourselves. And then it might not be easy in the beginning, but in the long term, it's going to be the best for everyone around us. And so if you feel like you're kind of grasping, or you're that person that is always searching for that quick fix thing, definitely feel free to reach out to me. I can kind of share with you some of my experiences and see if we can find some solutions for you. You're so technologically advanced. Is that because I can go live in 2 places, Liz? Trust me, I'm not. It's always a scary thing. I never know if it's going to work. Hello, Diane. How do you feel about carrot juice for breaking my fast? Mercedes, I don't know. You got to try it and see how it makes you feel and see what your results are like. Hello, ladies, and a few dudes. Okay, let's see if we have any questions. So, YouTube, hold on a second. I'm going to go over and look at your comments, too. I'm just kind of flipping through my Facebook comments really quick. Hello from Virginia. I'm a 35-year-old mom of 1. Just finished my first week of IF. Completed 2 days of 20-hour fasting thus far. I'm down almost 5 pounds since last Wednesday. I'm super excited and so glad to have come across your YouTube. Oh, my gosh. Cassandra, thank you so much. And thanks for sharing your results with us. That's always so encouraging for other women to hear that you can get results so quickly. And the 20-hour fasted window and the 4-hour feasting window seems to be a magic spot. And if you are in one of my groups, if you're in one of my online courses, we have a saying that was just revealed to my May course, and that is, hungry is where the magic happens. And oftentimes we tend to feed and quiet hungry, and we are learning the magic of hunger and what our hunger hormones can do with us when we truly understand and appreciate them and have them work for us. So good job on that 20-hour fast. Hi, Cassandra. I'm a 35-year-old mom of 1, 2. I've lost about the same 10 days. Yeah. Liz, you're killing it. You're doing a great job. Okay, let's see. Any other bioidentical hormones? Thank you, Liz Wagner. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Bioidentical hormones. I've had them before. They are no fun. Okay, cool. I would never do that to my kids. I lived through 3 teenagers. Yeah, it's so funny. I don't know what it is about us women. We're so quick to fix ourselves and try to make everything so easy for everyone else around us. Because really, like perimenopause and menopause, it's tough on us, and it seems like we try to fix us for other people. Like we're not trying to fix us for us. We're trying to fix us for other people. And that became really, really obvious to me when I walked out of my doctor's office with 3 prescriptions. And 1 prescription was for antidepressants. And I was not depressed. I was frustrated. And when I said to them, why are you writing me a prescription for antidepressants? I'm not depressed. I never talked to you guys about being depressed. And they laughed at me and said, oh, just secretly take these for 30 days and then see if the people around you enjoy you being around more. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, really? Like, am I not allowed to have a bad day? Am I not allowed to be grumpy? Do I have to be like June Cleaver all the time for everyone? Like, that doesn't seem very fair. And so I'm supposed to take some prescriptions so that other people are happy to be around me? Like, you don't want to know what I said to her, trust me. But I was like, nah, I don't think so. And so why do we do that? Why do we, right, Allison, yeah, teenage boys, like, our son was like an angel until he got hair on his legs. And then we're like, what the heck? Who are you? And can you bring our son back to us? Did a sugar elimination and no more hot flashes. Randy, yes, sugar is huge with the hot flashes and the night sweats, you guys. And if you watched me last night, you'll know what I said about sugar and fruit, and what our fruit is doing to us. We should seriously consider fruit as a dessert, and we don't. We consider fruit like a vegetable. That's no good for us. It's no good for us. And so really start watching how much fruit you're taking in. And I'm sorry, but wine is fruit. And so if you're that lady who's having wine, a glass of wine or 2, and I admittedly have had a bottle of wine innocently making dinner on a frustrated night. You open a bottle of wine, you have a glass, you make dinner, you have a glass at dinner, you have a glass while you're sitting on the couch, you have a glass before you go to bed. Oh my gosh, you just had a bottle of wine, and thanks to Trader Joe's and Costco's and all that, like inexpensive wine is like justifiable. But that's a habit that's so easy to get into that we really gotta be careful of, because that's that thing that can really throw our hormones completely out of whack very innocently. And then next thing you know, you're at the doctor's and you are on hormone therapy. I'm sorry, my hand is in the way of the Facebook thing. I'm trying to pull up my YouTube comments. Okay, so hold on a second, Facebook. I'm gonna look at some YouTube comments really quick. So sorry, do you consider berries to be a fruit? Gosh, so many antioxidants. Okay, yeah, so berries are a fruit, and yes, they have a lot of antioxidants in them, so just manage them. Make sure that you're not over consuming fruit, or you're not eating too many fruits on any given day, and there's a lot of antioxidants out there. So I would say if sugar is not a problem for you, then don't worry about it. But for me and for a lot of women who are insulin resistant, sugar, even fruit sugar, can be that thing that will throw you into a scary situation with like prediabetes and all kinds of fat you can't lose and weight you can't lose. Hot flashes with 4 sips of wine. Yvonne, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Oh, believe me, I have major hot flashes. Now I'm wondering if this is the reason why, because I'm a massive berry eater. It could be. Yeah, it could be. Here's my rule. My YouTube people, and my Facebook people will back me up on this. And if you watch my YouTube videos, you know that, I say do a 7-day test. So take all fruit out of your diet for 7 days and see how your hot flashes are. And if your hot flashes go away, gosh, what an easy fix that was. Just take fruit out of your diet for a little while. And then give your hormones a chance to balance out. And then when they get in balance, then just test the fruit. And so I have fruit a couple times a week. I used to eat fruit throughout my day. And now I just manage it. And that's helped a ton. Because fruit is amazing. I don't want to go my whole life without fruit. And here's the other thing I always coach on, is you don't want to have, I cannot eat lists of food, because that's miserable. Who wants to live like that? So I have foods that I choose to eat. And I choose to eat fruit on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That way I don't have to say I can't eat fruit or I'm not allowed to eat fruit. I just choose to eat them on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so it's a controlled environment for me. And then I don't put myself in trouble with the sugar. And then we've also made some decisions too about, you look at something, so let's say a glass of wine, or you want to go out with your husband on a date on a Saturday night, and you know you're going to have a glass of wine. You just have to be in agreement with yourself and kind of have a conversation with yourself that, yes, I'm going to go enjoy some wine with my husband, and I know on Sunday I'm not going to feel my best, or I might not get a best night's sleep on Saturday night, and you just have to be okay with that. And then Sunday, just know that you got to just do a nice long fast. You got to drink a lot of water. You got to kind of regroup yourself and not beat yourself up and not have any regrets about a decision you made to have a glass of wine and spend some quality time with your husband. Your husband will appreciate it, you'll appreciate it, and you'll recover from it a lot faster than if you dwell in it and sort of kick yourself for doing it. So let me see if I have anything. What's your advice for someone new to IF? Do you have an example of a full day of what to eat? I don't talk about what to eat on food days. I teach you how to figure that out for yourself, Teresa. I've been doing it for about a month now. Would your class be good for me? Yeah, Birdie, my class would be excellent for you because I teach you the whys of it and more than I teach you the hows of it. So I teach you why it is you're out of balance. I teach you why intermittent fasting works. I teach you why you don't have to count calories anymore. I teach you why it's important to get your hunger hormones in balance. So you'll learn all the whys, and then you won't be playing a guessing game with it. Perimenopausal, and doctor says I need that surgery, hoping IF helps with those issues. Yeah, Tanya, I would test it out as long as you can to see if you can fix some things before you have to go under the knife. And then sometimes you just have to. That's just the best thing for you in the long run, and you have to be okay with that too. But I say try to exercise all opportunities available to you to not have to do that, and always use that as your, okay, I've tried everything else, it didn't work, and then you have to do what you got to do. And then you can't beat yourself up about that either. First day I did 25-hour fast followed by a 2-8-6, already feeling a little more energy kicking in today. I did cardio for 30 minutes on an empty stomach in a fasted state and felt great. That is awesome, Mary. Awesome. So we're scared sometimes to work out without any kind of stimulants in us, and that's a little scary. We should really try to work out just on our own body and see what we can do. You don't have to work out as long, you don't have to work out as hard, because remember, most of those pre-workout formulas are full of some sort of sugar of some sort. There's lots of fancy ways to disguise that, but we get that sugar rush and we get that caffeine, and then our body can't really work on its own. And I had a discussion with a nutritionist at a nutrition store about running. I was looking for a pre-workout formula, and so I could run faster and longer. And he was telling me that runners shouldn't even have caffeine because it constricts your arteries, and it makes it harder for you to oxygenate your blood. And yet caffeine is the #1 go-to stimulant for runners. And I thought, well, gosh, why do we not know that? Like, it would be so much easier for us if we knew that. And then, oops, sorry, my hand's in the way again. I've been for 2 pounds down, 2 weeks. However, just lean berries and watermelon. That's okay. Just cut the watermelon and the berries just for a little while, and then see how you feel and see what your results are like. Hot flashes, I'm wondering if this is the reason why, because I'm a massive berry eater. Yeah. Hot flashes with forces. Okay, I already read all those. Okay, let's see if I got anything else. I have no idea what to eat. I'm 57 and want to IF so bad, but what do I bring to lunch for work? This is such a struggle for me. I'm hoping to join your June group. Yeah, Mary, get in my June group. We'll have you fixed in about a week. Don't even worry about it. We teach all of that. My doctor tried to convince me to take HRT drugs. I chose nutrition. Yvonne, awesome. Best advice for IF. And aging women on YouTube. Yo, Debbie, thank you so much. You were speaking my language. Awesome. Okay. Hello, I'm 40s and new to IF. Used to do heavy cardio, but found myself getting tired with my cardio lately, experiencing weight gain. Hope IF can help get back on track. Teresa, it will definitely help you get back on track, and you don't have to work out as long and as hard. Lonnie, I had a great day today. Thank you so much. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see if there's anything over here on Facebook. I like this double YouTube Facebook thing. It's awesome. I get my YouTube people at the same time. Okay, let's see what I got. I just broke a 42-hour fast because I was bored, not hungry. I don't understand why I wasn't hungry. Stacy, you're not hungry? Maybe because your hunger hormones are in check. Can undereating hinder fat burning or healing if you have a ton of fat to burn? Cassandra, no. You have to. Okay, there's a big difference between under eating and under nutrients. I think that would be a way to say it. So as long as you have the right amount of nutrients, your body will be okay, irregardless of calories. So oftentimes we have the right amount of calories, but we're undernourished. So if you're nourished properly, then calories don't really matter because your body will self-regulate your metabolic rate. And so when we go in a calorie deficit, and we're in a calorie deficit for a long time, and we're glycogen burners and not fat burners, our body then corrects our metabolic burn rate to what it is we're putting into our body, and it's usually a very low amount of calories. So that's what slows down our metabolism. When our nutrients are sufficient and we're not glycogen burning, then we're fat burning. Our body then corrects our metabolic burn rate and it goes up in number, and that's how we reset our metabolism. Our metabolism is not reset when we eat every 2 hours. That has been proven to actually slow down our metabolic burn rate. So what we want to do to get our metabolism ramped back up is to make sure we have the right nutrients in our body and to also make sure that we are fat burning. That's what revs up our metabolism. Okay, I just saw a big comment here over here on YouTube. Sorry, I just did that again with my hand. Sorry, you guys. Let's see. Me again. I have an autoimmune issue, and I've heard that long-term fasting is more for health and not weight loss, and intermittent fasting is more for weight loss. Do you know anything about this? Yes, Jolie. Yes, that is true, that long-term fasting is more for health reasons. So that's where I always try to get women to that 20-hour fasting window, because 20 hours is really a nice amount of time for you to get into that fat burning state. So the first thing you want to do for health reasons as far as fasting is making sure that you are not a sugar burner, but that you are actually a fat burner. When you become very efficient at fat burning, then it becomes easier to do extended fasting. So depending on who you follow and who you study, extended fasting can be anywhere from 20 hours up to multiple days of fasting. It depends on whatever philosophy someone's teaching or following. I have found in my own personal experience that consistently fasting for 20 hours with very nutrient-dense food in my feasting window has allowed me an opportunity to fix my body. Fixing my body meant reversing pre-diabetic state, reversing insulin resistance. My thyroid at 51 years old is perfectly functioning, and whatever autoimmune disorder that I had is no longer around. And so I didn't have to necessarily go into too extended of a fast in order to fix my body. Now, those extended fasts are also used, like multiple day fasts are used for things like cancer kind of treatment therapies, or with people who are on chemo treatments. They're doing extended day fasts to kind of help relieve some of the symptoms of chemotherapy. And it is just that opportunity for you to go into that true deep autophagy state where we're burning off all those damaged and dead protein cells. So yes, extended fasting is the optimal opportunity for you to heal your body. However, not everyone has to go that extreme. You can see relief, you can see some healing with just consistent, good fasting windows with very nutrient dense feasting windows. And so that's that thing you kind of have to play around with. And I always suggest starting with some easy, like building up from 16 to 20 consistently. And then when you're kind of a pro at that, going into multiple days, not a problem. Do I use a calorie chart to figure how much I should be eating on my feasting hours? No, you don't. You don't need to. You just eat for 4 hours or 6 hours or whatever it is that you want to eat. You just eat the right foods, and then your body will take care of the rest. We should never be counting calories, portion controlling, or counting macros and all that kind of. You don't need to, as long as you know good nutrition and you make good solid choices for yourself, and then listen to your body. Your body will send you cues when you put food in it that is not good for it. We have just been trained to not listen to those cues. And so that's how we get into trouble. So we got to really tune into your body, and that's what we teach in our class as well, is how to really tune into those signals that your body's sending you so that you can fix it. Can undereating hinder fat burning or healing even if you have a ton of fat to burn? I think we already talked about, no, you can't undereat. I just broke a 42-hour fast because I was bored. Okay, we already read that one too. Sorry, guys. I found it hard that coffee is a fasting state. Follow with some. Okay, great. Yeah, Mary, you found your thing. Not everything works the same way for everyone. So if coffee and a fasted state follow with some Topo Chico made you sick, that's not your thing. Do what's your thing. I also have an autoimmune disease affecting my adrenals. I make no cortisol and even, what was that? And a low amount while taking a long fast. I crave carbs. Okay, Janet, you're craving carbs because you're still sort of carb addicted. So I would just maybe ease out of eating carbs. And then you have to consider this too. There are some people that just do better on carbs. Just make sure you're eating good carbs. And if carbs make you feel good, you're that person that does well on carbs. So that's where you have to do the 7-day test. Put something in your body for 7 days, see what the results are, see how you feel. And if you're feeling great and you're getting the results you want, then you're that person that can handle some carbs. If you're not seeing the results you want and you're not feeling the way you're feeling, then you got to kind of experiment them back out and try some new combinations of foods. It's all just a big test. I had wine tonight at dinner with friends, so we'll do a 23-hour fast tomorrow, dinner again tomorrow. Thanks for your knowledge. Janet, help you have a good night's sleep. Drink lots of water, girlfriend, and some mineral water. See if that will help you. I actually like working out better on an empty stomach. Water and lemon juice is still all I need. Janet, you're a pro. Janet's my girl. She's been with me for a little bit. She's doing great. Okay, so I think that's all the comments over here. I'll try to get my hand out of there. Can this help for hypothyroidism? Yes, it can. Do I use calorie chart to figure? I already did that too, so Mary. Nope, Mary, you don't need a calorie chart. The beautiful thing about the way I teach, and everyone teaches intermittent fasting differently. Yeah, you need to eat, Mad Marsha. If you've been fasting for 48 hours and you're ready to eat. That was a great fasting window. The way I teach fasting for women, and I teach it this way because we've been dieting too long and we've been following other people's diet programs for too long. It's a time when we need to stand on our own 2 feet. We need to learn how to listen to our body, and we need to learn how to make decisions for ourselves through education and experience. And so I don't give out food plans. I don't give out recipes. I don't give out calorie charts. I don't even give out calorie brackets. I could care less how many calories you're eating. All I care about is that you're learning how to feed and fuel your body to make you look and feel your best and live your most authentic life. If I told you what I was eating, you would not be living your most authentic life. You'd be living my most authentic life. There's a lot of food that I eat and a lot of ways in which I eat that people just don't like. And so it wouldn't be fair of me to tell you to eat the way I eat. And I am not the type of person that I'm going to go out and just put a bunch of recipes together and give them to you guys and say, here, this will work, because I don't eat that way. So that would be me not being authentic to you guys. You have to just figure it out, and you got to play with it, and then find your happy spot, because we don't want to live someone else's nutritional life anymore. We want to live our own nutritional life and our own family's nutritional life. Everyone has their own family traditions, and they have their customs, and we have ours in our house, and they're very different from everyone else's. And so you can't live someone else's life through food. You got to live your own life through food. And that means you have to be willing to kind of make some mistakes and do some experimenting and see what works for you. Let's see if there's, I thought some more comments popped up. Sorry for the pause. Let's see what we got. Listen to diet and you will succeed. No more dieting. Thanks, Janet. Yeah, there's no more dieting in my life. I can't even tell you how many calories I ate today. Wednesday's our short fasting day. We ended up fasting 18 hours. I ate the entire time I was in my feeding window. So I don't care how much. I even had some, I think it was cashew ice cream tonight to close out my eating window. And we had pizza from our favorite pizza place. I chose gluten-free pizza tonight. And I had a gigantic chicken salad. And my neighbor across the street, Melissa, if she's on, thank you, Melissa. She brought me her homemade ranch dressing, which was awesome. I put some of that on top of my salad. I had raw nuts all day. I had my fat shake at 2 o'clock. And my husband made me a really nice plate of avocado and some cheese, and we had some chicken that we cooked earlier this week, and I had some of that. So I've been eating all day, and I feel amazing. And I've been drinking water all day. I have no idea how many calories I have. I have no idea like how many macros I consumed. I just ate. And I ate really good food. The only thing processed I had was my cashew milk ice cream. That was it. And I feel amazing. So stop being so preoccupied about the calorie stuff. The reason we follow calorie plans and the reason we follow someone else's food plan is because we don't want to think for ourselves. And we've got to stop that. We've got to stop letting someone else tell us what to do. Most of us are moms, and we want to raise kids who can think on their own 2 feet. And if we want to raise kids who can think on their own 2 feet, then we've got to think on our own 2 feet for ourselves. And we got to stop just following blindly to what someone tells us we need to do with our bodies, and we have to start taking responsibility for our own nutrition and our own self-care. And that goes for the medical industry as well. I can't even imagine where I would be today if I took my doctor's advice and took his 3 prescriptions when I went in a few years ago not feeling great. And I'm sitting here today at 51 years old, taking matters into my own hands through education and experimenting and experience, and then regrouping and trying something if it didn't work until I got it right. And I'm a happy, healthy, fit woman living at her ideal body weight and her ideal body fat at 51 years old, not dieting, not counting calories, not counting macros, not exercising myself to death. And I'm fine, and I'm on no prescription medication, and I'm taking no supplements that are going to be altering my hormones in any way. So I can tell you it can be done. So wait, you ate all day today, and then now you won't eat for 20 hours. Why do you do a 24 several times a week, back to back? Okay, yes. So Jolie, my husband and I do a 24, 16, 8, 24, 24. So 24 schedule Monday, Tuesday, 16, 8, Wednesday, 24, Thursday, Friday, and then I eat whenever I want to eat on Saturday and Sunday. I usually end up doing long fasts on the weekends too, just because I'm busy. And this weekend I'll be with my girlfriend who loves fasting too. So we'll fast together. And let me tell you, ladies, the best thing you can do is find some girlfriends to fast with, because it makes life so easy. We're going to go to a conference at our church on Friday and Saturday. And the one thing we won't be stressed about while we're away at a conference center is food. Like, you know how fun that is and how relaxing that is and how stress-free that is when you can go away with a girlfriend for a couple days and you're not stressed out about food. Like, we're not going to be waiting in long lines. We're not going to be spending money on overpriced, crappy processed food. We'll probably have our bottles of water and we'll chill and we'll fast together and it's going to be awesome. It's the best thing ever. Wait, why do you need to fast? I'm already skinny. Okay, well, I'm not skinny. I'm fit. I don't like the word skinny. So I'm fit. And I started fasting because I was 13 pounds heavier a few months ago and I was sick. So I initially started fasting so that I wouldn't be sick anymore. And the end result was that I lost 13 pounds. I wasn't going after it to lose weight. I was going after it to heal my body. I still need to get your fat shake recipe from you. Okay, Cynthia, email me tomorrow and I'll send it to you. Okay, so what time is it? It is 9:54. Oh my gosh, we've almost been on here for an hour. I love talking to you guys. Great comments, great questions tonight. I'm going to jump off because it's my night to watch Empire with my husband. And I will go back and review both YouTube and Facebook tomorrow. So if you have questions after this live broadcast and the recording, I will make sure that I will address your comment or question personally tomorrow. If something comes up later, you want to come back, that's fine too. Like I said, if you know of anyone who's suffering from some life-changing things with their body that they're not happy with, definitely feel free to share this broadcast. In the YouTube video and the Facebook video, I will post my link for registration for my June Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. We are currently taking registration for that course and it is filling up quickly. We will have to close out registration early this time because we are taking a limited number of women because we want to make sure that every woman gets a chance to have her voice heard in our group, and we don't want it to get too crowded. So if you are interested at all, I highly recommend Lenita, I put my email address and everything. I'll put it in the description box below once I post this as a recording. So come back and check it there. Or you can always find me on Facebook at Diane Parham Fitness, and it's DYANNPARHAM Fitness. And my email address is DYANNPARHAM Fitness, FITNESS at gmail.com. Always feel free to email me and I will return any emails that I get. Okay, so yeah, like go back to June. Oh, you had a girlfriend weekend at church? Yeah, it's so awesome. What was I going to say? Oh, if you want to get into our June group, definitely make sure that you get registered ASAP because it will fill up quickly. We're getting close to that halfway point already, and once it gets closer it starts to amp up registration wise, so I don't want anybody to get cut off and I will have to cut you off and then you have to get registered for July. So get in quick. And then we kind of keep you in the loop on some stuff between now and our start date, which is June 10th. So we'll give you we trickle you a little bit of information to kind of keep you pulled in with us and get you in that experimental fasting window to start out with, so that when we officially start our group on the 10th, you kind of have a little bit of experience under your belt with fasting and you kind of know where your comfort level is. And then we educate you and push you a little farther out of your comfort zone so that you can start to experience a little bit more of that extended fasting. And then we're there to catch you or to help you if something doesn't feel right, or if you have some questions that you need to have answered, we're there to help you. And as a group, our May group has been phenomenal in helping each other. I've purposely stayed out. I don't know if you guys have known this if you're my May group. I purposely stayed out of there in comments and stuff. And what I love is now they are answering each other's comments. They don't even need me, and they're speaking in my voice, which is absolutely amazing. So you guys are doing great. And you know they say is when you can teach someone something else that you've learned, then it's solidified in you and you've got it. So that's great. You guys are doing great. Can we do this another way? I don't have the time to really do Facebook. Yeah, you don't have to. The course is not on Facebook. The course is a different internet site, so you can join the course without being on Facebook. Facebook is not a requirement. It's a bonus. We call Facebook the party, and the course is where we do the work. So you do not have to be on Facebook whatsoever. And then I upload these tip videos to YouTube too, so you'll have those as well. Okay, so I keep putting my glasses on because you guys keep talking to me and I gotta go. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it off. Thanks, you guys. I will be back here tomorrow night. Thursday, it's my last night of the week. I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet. Throw me some topic and we'll talk about it if you have something that's kind of burning with you. And then I'll see you guys 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll get to see you on YouTube and Facebook tomorrow now that it's up and running. And then that way I'll get you guys both live. Thanks for spending your time with me tonight, you guys. I always appreciate you. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your little hearts and your likes and your subs and all that kind of stuff. And then I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you on social media somewhere. Have a good night.